What is up, guys? It's Adam with Sweaty Calves coming back at you with yet another video. Today I'll be comparing a couple of different box office results between something, say, like Spider-Man No Way Home, which has made approximately $1.5 billion worldwide, excluding the Chinese market and the Norwegian market, I do believe, and has been nothing but a love letter to fans of the Spider-Man character. It's actually the first time I've watched the Tom Holland Spider-Man film that I've actually enjoyed the arc that the character went on, and am interested in watching progress forward into the future. If you take a look at this, the box office is speaking for itself, obviously. We've got Spider-Man No Way Home, again, a movie written by fans, written for the fans, acted out by the fans, given to fans. Basically, it's just a huge love letter to fans, and it focuses on telling just a fun and enjoyable story that I couldn't ask more for. I couldn't ask more from. It's one of the only movies from 2021 that I actually enjoyed sitting down in a theater to watch. And the only other movie that I could remember actually enjoying in 2021 that came out was probably Zack Snyder's Justice League. And that one came out on HBO Max first, and so I got to sit for 4 hours watching that instead of getting the audience reaction, the visceral reaction of just seeing people, go crazy in the theaters and people enjoying themselves and laughing at the jokes on screen and just having a good old time. When it came to Zack Snyder's Justice League, it was mostly, you had to rely on other people's, Instagram posts or Facebook posts or tweets or the audience reaction on, like, the internet or through YouTube reactors or something like that. Now, don't get me wrong, Zack Snyder's Justice League, very enjoyable to watch. I found every minute of the 4-hour cut, I was sitting on the edge of my seat waiting for the next thing to happen because I loved it. And I don't doubt that movie would have made billions of dollars if it was placed into the actual box office market. But if you take a look at, let me just go through this real quick. If I look at the top selling movies of 2021, you've got, okay, so these are going to be domestic box office films. But again, look at this. You've got Spider-Man No Way Home at $668 million, $753,195. At the top, that's just domestic, that's just money made in America, You take a look at something like Shang-Chi, and that movie only made $224 million. But this one right here, Shang-Chi, is supposed to be this triumph of a film, which flopped at the box office miserably. Top-selling movies, let me do this, DVDs of 2021. So you got Wonder Woman 1984, which I am a little bit disappointed to see because I think it's a pretty terrible film. I didn't enjoy it. The action was ridiculous. They tried to make it a little bit more light and comedic, but it didn't really work at the end of the day. The story was just all over the place. But if you take a look at Justice League, the Justice League is ranked number 6 at the list of top-selling DVDs in the United States for 2021. This is just United States. This isn't even counting global numbers. And I'm fairly certain that the Justice League movie was actually top of the charts in regards to Blu-ray sales. So we take a look at those, right? We take a look at something that's for the fans, like Zack Snyder's Justice League. This does pretty well, even just doing regular DVD sales and not including Blu-ray sales. And then we take a look at the box office of something like Spider-Man No Way Home, where it's made $1.53 billion worldwide so far, again excluding a huge market like the Chinese market and the Norwegian market. And then you take a look at something like this, the 355, which was supposed to be a female spy movie like Tom Cruise's spy movies, like Mission Impossible or James Bond or something like that. And as you can see here, the 355 box office flops with $4.3 million debut, which is hilarious. That means that over the course of a weekend it only made $4.3 million. and it's only expected to make $4.3 million, right, in its debut weekend. Again, take a look at here at the highlighted region. It is expected to make $4.3 million its debut weekend, which is pretty sad. Now, when I heard about this movie the first time, it was open in only 2,300 theaters, not 3,000. So I'm reacting to this a bit late. But when I first heard about this, its opening night, it only made about $350,000. Yeah, and here comes the excuses for why it is that the 355 is flopping. It also probably didn't help that the 355 is debuting exclusively in theaters at a time when audiences seem to be excited to watch only one movie on the big screen. But the film will arrive on digital in just 17 days after its theatrical debut as a part of Universal's condensed release window. So all I'm hearing there is no one wants to watch our crappy woke movie about a female-centric spy team, and instead they want to go see a movie that's made for the film. And, made for fans, made for enjoyability, made for the sole purpose of being a fun movie. Spider-Man No Way Home held on to the top spot in its fourth weekend, meaning that it's still at the top ranking of movies, even now, like a month, 5 weeks after it's come out. It's made $30 million over its fourth weekend, which, if it came out and it only made $30 million, that would be pretty terrible. But since it's been, again, like 4 weeks, 5 weeks, it's been over a month since the movie came out, this movie, making only $30 million over a weekend, is pretty freaking good. And again, we're missing out on that huge Chinese market. But, Sing 2 was, I think, the number 2 spot was claimed by the animated sequel, Sing 2, which means a movie about seeing animated animals was more enjoyable for audiences to go watch, both adult and children, than to go watch this boring movie called The 355. If this serves as anything, it should serve as an example to audiences all around the world that woke garbage just isn't interesting. It should serve to major media companies that woke garbage is not something that fans want. It should serve a message to the major movie companies, the production companies, that to produce a movie like this is to run the risk of losing everything. It is nothing but a flop. It even says it in the title. Collider is, from what I remember about Collider before, I kind of took some time off. It's it's a pretty... I'm just going to say I don't know if I really trust Collider to be objective, and they have to call this a flop just as much as anyone else would have to call it a flop. This $4.3 million, not something that you really want to hold on to with any hope of assuming that it's going to do well, or that it's going to rivet fans into wanting more of this film. I mean, again, I'm just going to highlight this one more time. Spider-Man No Way Home continues to break records as the Tom Holland starrer has now become the 8th highest grossing movie ever at the global box office. It has collected more than $1.53 billion worldwide. And I genuinely think that this movie could beat Endgame. Avengers Endgame. I genuinely think if audiences keep going to the theaters and keep wanting to watch this movie, that it could make more than Avengers Endgame. It could probably cross the 2 billion marker. Then, if it continues at the rate it's been going, I wouldn't be surprised if it did that by the end of its time in theaters. Definitely. Now, I could be wrong. I'm not good with numbers. I'm not a mathematician. I'm not someone who can estimate the outcome of something just by taking a look at some ones and zeros. But just, again, take a look at this. Take a look at something like the 355, and you see the difference in the marketing, in the character development, in the story, and the focus of what the story is about. The 355 was an attempt to make a female version of every spy movie we've ever seen before. Spider-Man No Way Home was an attempt to make a movie that fans could enjoy. It's very simple. Alright, well, That's my rant for the day. I'm signing off. This has been Adam with Sweaty Calves. Make sure to like and subscribe, and share your thoughts down below in the comment section, or share the video if you agree with me. All right. Have a great day and a great rest of the week.